...2024, boy, it continues. 2024 has brought a lot of beef energy, a lot of going back and forth on social media between stars, and who would have thought that we would get a Joe Budden versus DDG beef in battle, right? But this is more than just Joe Budden versus DDG. This is the older generation versus the younger generation in hip hop. And this is something that brews a lot in comments and in opinions about hip hop music. Now, this is not, of course, synonymous with hip hop. This goes along with every generation that comes along, right? My generation went through it. My parents do not like rap music still to this day. You know, they can tolerate some of it, but for the most part, they don't know who any of these people are. You know, Kendrick and Drake they have no idea what's going on with that. But this is hip hop within hip hop. So it's a different thing, as in, to me, there's a vying for control of the narrative in hip hop between the younger generation and the older generation. I think, to be 100% transparent, before I get into DDG and Joe Budden, my generation, I'm part of the older generation, right? I'm over 40. We do have a tendency to have a big group of our generation that wants to remain young. And I think that's something that is synonymous or unique to our generation. We have a very big part of our generation that are literally the old people in the club that we used to make fun of when we were younger. And it causes this kind of clash between the younger and older generations. Now, getting into the Joe Budden versus DDG thing, I don't side with either, because yes, on one hand, I think Joe Budden went too far in disrespecting somebody he didn't know. But on the other hand, who cares what Joe Budden has to say if you're DDG and you are a little bit more successful? I know the Joe Budden fans are going to hit back at that, but I'm going to go through some of the numbers as well. And we're just going to talk about relevance and the landscape of social media and how really it is geared towards young people just from a lifestyle standpoint. But just to give a little background, I'm going to play clips from both gentlemen. Now, DDG was in a relationship with Halle Bailey, who is a successful actress. You know, she was in The Little Mermaid. She has a successful singing career as well. So they recently split. He made a public statement. Joe Budden and the Joe Budden podcast wanted to make comments about the public statement, and they were a little disrespectful towards DDG in those comments. I'll also play that, plus DDG's response to those comments. Let's roll both clips.
My question to my distinguished panel is a question I've been asking myself for quite some time. Who the fuck is DDG? and why am I supposed to care about his thoughts on anything? I'm very happy that they have broken up, so I don't get to keep seeing this nigga's name attached to this girl's name when I don't know him for nothing as a standalone. And for me, it's important to know people based off their own name and merit and what they have done. I don't even know enough about her. Like, I'm not her demo. Right. I'm not her demo either. But every time I see his name, it's attached to hers, and it's typically in some type of clout chaser fashion. So that makes me look at him a different way, and hopefully I get to look at him a lot less now that they've broken. Well, she's extreme. You know the DDG I know? That was Jake the Snake's finishing move. The DDT. Whatever. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. Know the DDG I know? That's what Jake the Snake got real mad. That's what he did you like that. I don't know about this new DDG that y'all talking about. That's not really my bag. I just think their homeboy has presented himself to be a clout chaser for the term of the relationship. Last time being mentioned on this broadcast, the rest of eternity. You gotta weigh the pros and cons of leaving your famous girlfriend to get all the
Man, we got to get into that. You know how this works, Joe Budden, so I don't want to cuss too much but and say what I really want to say. But you don't really know who you talking to for real. And I don't even come on here on no gangster shit. Like, I ain't coming on here to say I'm going to whoop your ass. I will whoop your ass. Don't get it fucked up. I'll beat the shit out of you. But I ain't coming on here to say that. You feel me? I'm coming on here to say you talking to a real social media legend. You talking to a real, like, somebody that put their family in position to win. Somebody that motivated your kids, nigga. In music, I got way more accolades than you in music, and I'm doing way better than you in life in general. And I'm 26, and you're 44. 44. I looked up. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know who Joe Budden was until he sat next to academics.
I ain't know who Joe Budden was till the Migos down there. You know what they did to him. Everybody know what the Migos did. That's the most I know about Joe Budden. And then when I looked him up today, I ain't know he made a pumping song. Like, yo, come on, man. That's what you
Hey, I ain't gonna
tell
lie.
your
I
people.
was
Hey,
in the
bro,
car.
I'm that nigga.
No,
I
no,
made pump it.
No. I don't know what label he was signed to. They had that bitch on the radio, but you know where they had it at the most?
Where?
The trampoline parks. That's the only place I know you from. Because I used to go to the trampoline parks and they used to play Pump It Up.
No.
Oh my God. And he got
a cheerleader song.
He made
a cheerleader song.
Pump,
Like, come on, like,
pump it up.
like you be dancing to that
Pump
motherfucker.
it up. He went gold in 20 years. 20 years? It took you 20 years to go gold? This man is old enough to be my uncle, my pops. Like, this is an old man.
OG. He OG.
He ain't OG to me. You didn't get no respect from me. But he like an old dude. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, when I see shit like that, I'm like, damn, I ain't gonna lie. I looked up his accolades and it made me feel way better about myself. Because a lot of people be on me crazy. But these niggas ain't even got plaques. Like, this man has one plaque in his home. One plaque.
That's the only one you got?
The only one he got. He been waiting at the mailbox for 20 years to get a plaque,
I ain't gonna
bro.
lie.
I really don't know what he do past that besides have a successful podcast. And that's cool and all. You know, I'm fresh in the game and I'm glad you mentioned my name. Because I'm about to, you don't know who you messing with. I'm Mr. Monetizer, okay? I'm going to find out everything about you. I can really dig deep. I don't know if I should do that.
Nah.
I don't know if I should do that. I could really dig deep. But Joe Budden,
He was talking a little spicy though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what's wrong with him. The people around him all laughing like it's funny. They know they fucking kids watched you.
Okay, first things first. We don't know if Joe Budden's team, meaning the behind the scenes team, the management, the marketing, all those things, has a relationship with Halle Bailey's team. When I hear that kind of vitriol for somebody, it's either a clout chase, which I doubt that it was, because I really don't think Joe Budden knew who DDG is as far as his popularity on YouTube and that with the younger generation. But I think that we forget that sometimes people have back channel relationships with each other, especially entertainers and artists. And I think that's what that sounded like to me. They were trying to protect Halle Bailey because they like her, they respect her, they have a relationship with her. And maybe her management marketing team sent out a little message, you know, to kind of make sure she looks good coming out of that public statement. And, you know what I'm saying, Joe Budden and them jumping on that side basically for no reason, something that has nothing to do with them. Yes, it's part of the media, but they went a little far, especially Joe Budden went a little far in just disrespecting DDG, especially due to the fact that most of what they said was based on rumors that weren't true, which DDG addressed in that clip. So how do we avoid these kind of clashes? Because they're going to continue to happen, but we need to find a way to meld the two generations. We can be the first generation of older people who don't appear to be hating on the younger generation for what they like and what they choose to represent themselves as long as it's not destructive, right? As long as it's not counterproductive. We need to find a way to not want to be in charge of what is cool, right? We had our time, and we have to realize that younger people, no matter what time it is, when it is, they're going to grow up in a different reality, right? That's just what happens as time passes. Things change in society. And of course, that shapes the mindset of the generations growing up through that society. Because YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, etc., all the social media is geared towards younger people. Like, just for instance, DDG has 4 channels that I could find that has upwards of 3 million subscribers, right? With the biggest channel having 4 million, right? His main channel, Pontiac Made DDG, has 3.4 million subscribers, right? Joe Budden TV has 1.45 million subscribers. Now, Joe Budden's name to a certain generation rings out more, but to the younger generation, DDG's name rings out a lot more. Now, Joe Budden has been in entertainment for upwards of 20 years. So the fact that this kid has double the amount of subscribers just on YouTube, right, which is both of their main platforms at this point, shows you how social media is skewed towards younger people. Now, why is that? Younger people don't have anything else to do, right? And that's not a slight towards them, but the structure of going to school and being a younger person leaves you with a lot more time to watch YouTube, to listen to music, and to be a part of and on social media. You know, whether we like it or not, okay, they're going to have more say because they have more time to spend in the culture and being a part of what is put forth as its representation, right? This is why I look at, there's a lot of 30-somethings and a lot of 40-somethings, shout out to DJ Academics, who try to remain a part and be a part of that streamer culture. And I understand they were part of starting it and all those good things. People bring up Joe Budden's been online since 2009. That's great. However, sometimes it's time to pass the torch as far as being one of the key figures at the top amongst the younger generation. You have your own generation to be a part of, but your own generation is also busy working and raising the kids who are DDG fans, right? So they don't have the time to be as powerful of a force in social media as the younger people do because you're just simply outnumbered. You know, on their last podcast, which I just seen a little while ago, Joe Budden and the team kind of stepped back and walked back their disrespect of DDG a little bit because I'm sure that his fan base let them know that disrespect will not be tolerated. Now, of course, you don't want to seem as though you're standing down, but it's in your best interest to stand down because these kids have a lot more time and energy to make sure that your social media experience is not the best and to do damage to your brand. So let me know what you think in the comments below about this little back and forth and about the ageism, so to speak, in hip hop and the difference between the generations. Let's have a nice little discussion in the comments. Let me know what you think below. Hit that like button as always. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet. Hit that notification bell. And make sure you tap in and check out the link for the next video where I do a song review of J. Cole's Port Antonio record, where I talk about him addressing his role and his stepping down out of the Kendrick and Drake beef. Kind of a necessary, dope song though. Check out that song review. Thank y'all for watching as always, and we out.